Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to Bahamas Educational Express math lesson. And today we are going to learn about money. You will be able to identify money used in the Bahamas, identify and give the value of each dollar and coin, and add and subtract money. In the Bahamas, we use Bahamian currency or money, as well as the United States currency or money. Let's look at them. First, we have the Bahamian $100 note, the Bahamian $50 note, the Bahamian $10 note, the Bahamian $20 note, the Bahamian $5 note, the Bahamian $1 note, the US $1 note, and the US $2 notes. Now, there are other notes for the US, but we don't have them here. Let's look at the coins now. Here we have the Bahamian 5 cents, and on the right we have the US nickel or 5 cents. Here on the left we have the Bahamian 10 cents. On the right, we have the US dime or 10 cents. On the left, we have the Bahamian 25 cents. On the right, we have the US quarter or 25 cents. Here we have the US penny. In the Bahamas, we no longer use pennies. Now, when we're looking at money, adding and subtracting, here you see a $10 note, a $5 note, and a $1 note. The first thing you are to do is to line up the money in place value order. Always put in your decimal point. Here we have them in place value. We see the $10. All of the dollars are on the left side, and the coins will be on the right side of the decimal point. Okay, so notice we have no coins, so therefore on the decimal side, on the right side, you only have 0, 0, 0. That's for the coin side. On the left side, we have the $10, the $5, and the $1. And in between, we have the decimal point. That separates the dollars from the coins. And when we add, we also must have the decimal point in our answer for it to be correct. So when we add them together, we have $16. Okay. Now, in this slide, we have coins as well as a dollar note. How are we to do this? Line the money up in place value order. Always put in your decimal point. All coins are on the right side of the decimal point. Now, let's go and put them there. So notice we start with the larger note, the larger piece of money, which is the dollar. Then we have the 25 cents. So notice on the right side of the decimal point, we have 25. Next, we have 10 cents. Notice on the right side of the decimal point, 10. Then we have the 5 cent. Notice that 5 cents is in the ones place because It is ones. So we have 5 ones there. And so now we have them all lined up. So now we can add. Okay? 5 plus 5 is 10. We regroup 1 plus 2 plus 1 give us 4. And notice when we adding and there isn't anything in the space, we count that as 0, so it's only $1. Okay, in this slide we are going to add coins and dollar notes. Notice that we have a dime, which is 10 cents, a 5-cent piece, a Bahamian 5-cent piece, a US penny, which is 1 cent. We also have a Bahamian $5 note as well as the Bahamian $1 note. So remember, we always put the large value at the top and the lesser value to the bottom. But the first thing we want to do is to line the money up in place value order. You have to remember that. Always put in your decimal point. You cannot forget that. All coins are on the right side of the decimal point. You must do that. Let's see how that is lined up. Notice the $5, which is the larger value, is at the top. Then we have the dollar. Next, we have the 10 cents. We only have one piece of that, so only one. Next, we have the 5 cent. And last but not least, we have the penny, the 1 cent piece. Okay, let's see what that total. 5 plus 1 is 6. And then on the tens place, we have only 1. But then when we have on the dollar side, we have 5 and 1 is 6. Let's see if our addition is correct. Yes, our addition is correct. Our total money on the sheet is $6.16. In this slide, we are going to subtract money. At the top, we have 2 pieces of dollar note, which are the 20 and the 10. At the bottom, we have 3 pieces, which are the $5 and 2 $1 notes. We are going to subtract the bottom notes from the top notes. Remember that we have to line up the money in place value order. We have to always put the decimal point in, always put all coins to the right side of the decimal point. Let's see how that's going to look. So we have at the top 10 plus 20 is 30. So we have that at the top. But let's look at there. We have $5 plus $2. So that is $7. So now we are to take away $7 from $30. Okay? Remember when you're subtracting, look there. You cannot take away 7 from 5, so you have to regroup. All right? When you go to the tens place, that is going to be less. That's going to be 2. And then the one that we're taking away is going to be 10. So we said 7 from 10 is 3. And 0 from 2 is 2. And that will be our answer. In this slide, we are going to subtract coins and notes. Notice at the top, we have a 5 and a $1 note, which makes $6. We have a 10 cents, a dime, a 5 cents, and a penny, which is equal to 16 cents. At the bottom, we are taking away a $1 note plus a dime and a penny, which is 11 cents. So when you add those up, you are going to get $6.16 and $1.11. First, make sure to line the money up in place value order. Next, always put in your decimal point and always put the coins on the right side of the decimal point. Let us subtract now. What goes to the top? The $6.16. Excellent. Notice that the coins are on the right side of the decimal points. The dollar note is on the left side of the decimal point. Then we are going to subtract or take away $1.11. Notice how it's lined up. All of the coins lined up properly, all of the dollars lined up properly. The decimal point separates the coins and the dollar note. Let's now see what our difference will be. That's right. So we have one from 6 is 5, one from 1 is 0, and one from 6 is 5. So our answer is $5.05. Now we're going to look at some word problems and counting, adding, and subtracting money. And we're going to begin with the first one, and it reads, Karen buys a candy bar for 75 cents and chips for 60 cents. How much money did she spend? Now, the clue word in this word problem is spend and how much. So it tells us that we are going to be adding. Remember our rule. Line up the money in the place value order. Always put the decimal point in. Always have the coins on the right side of the decimal point. So here we have 75 cents and 60 cents. 75 and 60s are coins, so they are to be placed on the right side of the decimal point. Then we add them together. 0 plus 5 is 5. 6 plus 7 is 13. We regroup, put the ones on the dollar side, on the left side of the decimal point. So that is how we work that. Now let's look at this word problem. Billy buys a softball bat for $10.50 and a softball for 80 cents. How much money did he spend? Spend tells us to add. Remember our rule, line up the money in place value order. Always put in the decimal point, and coins are placed at the right side of decimal point. $10.50 plus 80 cents. The cents coins are on the right side, the dollar note on the left side of the decimal point. We add, we get $11.30. Now let's look at another one. Billy now buys a hat for $7.30. He gives the cashier a $10 bill. What is this change? The clue word in here is change. Change tells us to subtract. So it means that we are going to put the money that he's giving the cashier, which is the $10, at the top, and the $7 that he's spending for the hat at the bottom. Remember, line up our money in place value order. Always put in our decimal point, and all coins, cents goes to the right of the decimal point. Notice here, we have the money he's giving to the cashier at the top. The money he spent for the hat goes at the bottom. We see our operational sign, which is a takeaway sign. And so we take away. Now be careful here. We are subtracting across 0 because we cannot take 3 from 0. So we have to go straight to our tens place and take away 1. Okay? So here, notice that when we take away 1 from the 10, it leaves us with 9. And that 9 will be in our ones place. And when we take that over to the cents side, we are going to have 10 cents instead of 0 cents. So therefore, when we take away $7.30 from $10, our change will be $2.70. Okay, we are going to look at another word problem. Here we said Sharon buys a doll for $5.25. She gives the cashier a $20 bill. What is the change? What is the operation we're going to use here? Will it be addition or subtraction? That's right. We are going to use subtraction. All right. Our clue word change tells us that we are going to subtract. Remember our rule. Line up the money in place value order. Always put in the decimal point. All coins are to the right side of the decimal point. Remember when we talk about giving the cashier money, we always put that money that we are giving the cashier or the person at the top. So here we go. So we said 20, take away $5.25. You notice that we have to be subtracting. And so 5 from 0 we can, 2 from 0 we can't. So what we have to do is go to regroup. Okay? When we take away 1 from the 2, it leaves us with 1. So we put that over to the ones place, but then we have to take something from that ones place, which should leave 9, and we have to carry it over to our decimal side, our coin side. That is going to be 10, but we have to take something else, 1 from there, and it leaves us with 9. And then when we go to our hundredth place, that's going to be 10. So therefore, we're now going to say 5 from 10, 2 from 9, and 5 from 9. And remember, when there isn't anything, when that means 0. So 0 from 1. So let's see how that's going to look. Okay? 5 from 10 leaves 5. 2 from 9, 7. 5 from 9, 4. And 0 from 1, 0. That is our lesson on money, counting, adding, and subtracting.